rise of a tycoon. A controversy-filled era where power, wealth, and Donald Trump seem like they go hand in hand. Starting his journey as a real estate developer to being the President of the United States, Donald Trump was a man with a lot of ambition. But underneath the golden surface of his empire lies an intricate web of financial deceit. Chapter 1. The Art of the Deal, or the Art of the Illusion. From the 80s and beyond, New York Jerry was shining due to his empire of skyscrapers, casinos, and luxury resorts. Instead of self-promotion, it was rather him boasting about his undeniable success, along with people singing about him. But the castle he built started falling apart as the giraffes began to whisper. The claims of Trump's wealth began to come under scrutiny, claiming that he had not been truthful about the numbers he mentioned. Some believed that he strategically overestimated the worth of his possessions in order to generate investment interest, while others maintained that he had devised a way through which he did not have to pay taxes and could write off a majority of his assets. All of these claims started to put holes in the tapestry of his financial empire. The estimation of the Trump Tower is one of the stories that continued to be shared for a very long time. Independent appraisers most certainly disagreed with him when he argued that the tower could be worth billions. It would later on also be a point of focus for the investigation revolving his finances. But Trump's boasting certainly did more bad than good for him. Independent appraisers assigned a much lower value to the tower. Chapter 2. The Casino Debacle. This entrepreneurial move by Trump into the casino culture was promising, but he did miscalculate, and unfortunately his investments did not pay off. The Trump Taj Mahal, along with his other associated casinos in Atlantic City, were viewed as prime examples of a flagship business Trump possessed. Things took a turn quickly, and they fell into a cycle of debt and ultimately filed for bankruptcy. In viewing and examining his financial moves, there arose questions revolving how Trump was able to fund all of these endeavors. There were rumors that suggested these loans were taken by him at the expense of his casinos. Some of the people who lent him money believed that he overstated the profitability of his business to receive collateralized loans. He was even accused by a handful of creditors to be using shell companies in order to cover up his actual financial state. The malfunction of Trump's casino empire was a pivotal moment. It revealed his financial empire's instability and called into scrutiny the credibility of his business dealings. Chapter 3. The Trump Organization. A house of cards? The epicenter of the accusations rested on the Trump Organization, the trademark family business that oversaw almost every single asset held by Trump. As time passed, this organization became the focus of several probes. One of the most shocking accusations was that Trump and his partners used to overstate the value of their assets when seeking loans or insurance, only to reduce the value to evade taxes. This rather dubious practice, which James termed asset inflation, formed the basis of a civil fraud case against her. The New York Attorney General claimed that Trump and his children, Donald Jr., Ivanka, and Eric, had collectively committed fraud over a period of decades. Per the Trump Organization scheme, false fiscal statements were submitted to the banks and the insurance companies, with gross overestimations of the properties, including Mar-a-Lago Castle, the Trump Tower, and several golf courses. The role of Allen Weisselberg. The Trump Organization was Allen Weisselberg's baby, and he largely served as the chief financial officer over the years. Due to his unwavering focus on detail, he seemed to be well integrated with the Trump family. But as he became the subject of a criminal probe by the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, things rapidly changed. Prosecutors claimed that Weisselberg was the mastermind behind schemes that purposefully bypassed taxes on over millions of dollars worth of benefits, luxury automobiles, apartments, and even tuition for his grandchildren at private schools. All hope seemed lost for prosecutors until Weisselberg decided to become helpful with the investigators, because cooperating was deemed as a possible drastic change in the outcome of the case. This single testimony, coupled with his deep understanding of the organization's finances, could single-handedly shift the scales and determine Trump's involvement in the alleged fraudulent acts. The legal battles. The investigations plunged deeper, leading to a bona fide soap opera where Trump miraculously found himself in the eye of every legal battle. In response to these issues, he constantly stated that they have been brought forward to destroy him and labeling the prosecutors as people looking to wage a witch hunt in order to tarnish his reputation. Trump's claim of fake news in his protest only made his case more complicated. Apart from the civil fraud case, Trump also had to answer criminal charges relating to bank fraud, insurance fraud, and even tax evasion. Trump's post-presidential reputation was severely abused and his resources drained. As the investigations became more public, he was forced to spend endless amounts on legal proceedings, and the what-ifs of the situation left him in financial shambles, whether directly or indirectly. This is what happened next. Trump losing everything enabled people to see him in a different light. His image as an almighty businessman was damaged, and at the same time made everybody wonder, how deep does his empire's corruption go? These changes were a friendly reminder of the scary abyss that exists under the roof of genius. These probes acted as threats for the entirety of the business sphere. They proved that there is an ever-growing, worrisome gap between ambition and reality. This gap also acts as a concern that something bad can happen if structures of corporate finance are manipulated without taking care of the middle ground. Final thoughts. The fallout of deception. It was clear to see that these legal domains were based on the cheesy and overstated concepts of undermining the man's resources instead of actually truly achieving anything. So whether he will get charged with money fraud is something we don't have a definite answer to. However, it's easy to say that there is no way to escape the burden of such myths. To some, Trump was a sharp entrepreneur who transformed the New York skyline, while to others, he was a foolish figure who deceptively altered the standard of American politics. In the end, the story of Trump's money fraud allegations was not just about one man. Rather, Trump was a perfect illustration of the multi-layered nature of power, deception, wealth, and ambition, all condensed into one story.